All right. Thank you. Dear Thay, dear Sangha, Joyful Garden Sangha friends, and also many friends online somewhere out there. And today, the March the 4th, right time. So today is the March the 4th, 2026, and this is the first class of our 5 mindfulness training class, I guess you can say like that. And then very grateful for Joyful Garden Sangha in Singapore to organize. Actually, this class is not on the list. Actually, it's just at the end squeeze in. But I also very surprised. Got quite a lot of people interested in this class. And at the very beginning, the friend who signed up was not too many. But when I look at today, oh, it's a lot of people turn up. Yeah. Also the online friends. How many of you? Included me, 21. Yeah. But you will see after the second, third, and the fourth, yeah. Sometimes the first class, a lot of people. Second class, reduce 10 or 20%. Third class, maybe half disappear. Or maybe sometime last class full again. Not sure, huh? Or maybe during the day of mindfulness, when because at the end of the class the Sangha, the OI members from Joyful Garden Sangha also would like to organize transmissions. Yeah, but it's optional for you if you aspire to receive, you can. And if you have received long time ago, you want to renew, it's also you're very welcome. And then I have a good news and a bad news. Good news is friends who are outside of Singapore, they probably can, also receive online. But those who are in Singapore, bad news for you. You have to come here. Cannot online. Okay, yeah, there's got a lot of things to share with you. But first of all, I would like to introduce one of my friends hanging over there somewhere. It's a chimes clock. Every 15 minutes, it will chimes. And then we will practice stopping. Yeah, just stop totally. Included me, I will stop talking also. Stop moving around, stop looking around. And probably we can just really stop our thinking. Yeah, but breathing continue, huh? Do not stop. That one I allow you to continue. So we pay attention to our in breath and out breath, relax. Yeah, together, okay? Yeah. And then have a gentle smile, and then while listening to the chimes clock until it's finished. Yeah, so it's like a mindful moment. Yeah, stopping, return to the present moment, feel our body, and have a gentle smile. So let's see what will happen if we practice for the next 1 hour and a half. Yeah. Even in Plum Village, we practice a lot. So even I already practiced this stopping, listening to the chimes clock for almost 20 years, but I continue to practice. Yeah. It doesn't mean like, oh, I already expert, I don't practice anymore. No. So like us, we commit our whole life to practice stopping, breathing, relaxing, and come back to the present moment. Yeah. Because sometimes people, oh, this is so cheesy or so simple practice. They want something higher, you know. This is the, maybe people call it the easiest, but also the most difficult practice. Yeah. When you practice regularly, then you will know. Yeah. But after a few years, you will feel you can receive the benefits. Yeah. Like for me, after almost 20 years of practice breathing, I can really, really testify the confidently to say that the benefit is really, really, I don't know how to say it, gigantic or humongous, just very big. Yeah. So, like for us as a mindfulness practitioner, we commit ourselves to practice mindful breathing. And then we also have a bell. Maybe from time to time also we can listen to the bell. It's combined together. Sometimes the chimes clock, sometimes the bell. And then for the bell, actually, I have a gatha I would like to share with you all today. You can take a look at the screen. Yeah, let's see. Huh? Okay, continue to share. So this is one of our favorite gatha or poem. So when you listen to the chimes clock or this bell, you can memorize it, okay? Listen, listen, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. And how you practice? If you listen to the chimes clock, you can just take an in breath, listen, listen, and then out breath. Out breath, this wonderful sound. In breath again brings me back, and out breath to my true home. Yeah. You can practice one time. Yeah. One line, one in and out breath. You can practice one time. But if the chime clock is a little bit longer, you can practice for the second time or the third time. If you just want to practice one time, it's also okay. Yeah. With the sounds of the bell over here, it's also very similar. Yeah. And then as a young novice, long time ago, and when I started to practice in the plant village traditions, and because this poem, this gatha is very short, it's easy to remember. So we practice it all the time. Even after almost 20 years, I still continue to practice. Yeah. So let's practice this gatha for three sounds of the bell with the bell master, Brother Lawrence, and will help us. And then at the very beginning, if you're familiar with the style of inviting the bell, maybe you know already. Huh? So it will give a half sound, and then we start to take an in breath and out breath. Yeah, at least one or two, and then the full sound, we start to continue to pay our attention to our in breath and out breath, and then we recite the gatha together inside of us. Okay, let's give it a try. Thank you very much. As you know, mindfulness is energy, and then we generate this energy of mindfulness from deliberately pay attention to our in breath and out breath. Yeah, because in Plum Village, we really use a very simple and a down to earth way to share with friends that mindfulness is when our mind return to the present moment. And then when we pay attention to our in breath and out breath, actually our mind in the present moment, in the here and now. So it's very simple when we want to practice mindfulness. And then, of course, when we talk about five mindfulness trainings, yeah, actually it's rooted in the teaching of the Buddha. Probably you know, maybe some few of you know that actually this is a revision from what they call it in Chinese Wu Jie. Wu is the five, Jie is the precepts. The translation is like that. But in Plum Village, we kind of like use a very beautiful term, and our teacher call it a mindfulness trainings. Yeah, because we don't want people to get caught in the, because when we say I say precepts, then you immediately come to a point that, oh, we have to do this one, we should not do this one, you're telling me to do this one, to do that one. So there's we are not saying the term precept is not nice, but it might lead us to somewhere else. Yeah. So our teachers say we want to say in a way that people have an understanding, deeper understanding about precepts. That is why he says is to train our mindfulness, to give rise to mindfulness. If you practice the precept without mindfulness, and then it's kind of show, the performance. You want to let other people to know you practice the precepts, it's kind of show up. So we want to practice more genuinely, yeah, wholeheartedly in a way that to increase our mindfulness. Yeah. So there will be five mindfulness training. We will discuss one by one. And of course, when we talk about training, please be aware that we don't want to be like because sometimes people will get caught in the I have to practice perfectly 100%, if possible 200%. So you'll give yourself a burden. You will stress out yourself. But of course, we are not really slack down, or find an excuse, Or it's okay lah. The brother say we don't need to be perfect, and then you find your own you call it alibi or excuse to yeah. So you see how the mindfulness play an important role on this kind of practice. Yeah, because we want to practice genuinely to be like have a clarity when we want to practice this, and nobody force you to do that, but your willingness, your wish, yeah, because when we have a like presentation like this, and then you will see, oh, whether this is okay or not, it's suitable, speak to you or not, yeah. And then of course there are people. Our teacher always say that if you think that this mindfulness training is very beneficial, very beautiful, you want to receive it, then you can take it. Yeah, we will organize a ceremony. But there are people also, they are not very into this ceremony things, Oh, I don't want ceremony things. But they just absorb, they just use the idea, the practice in the five mindfulness training. They also can practice very well. So both are fine. Yeah. So both are totally fine. And then also we would like to look at the mindfulness training as a guidance. Yeah. Like our teacher, he loved to give he loved to give example like a North Star. When we are lost, we don't know the direction, we don't have compass or something. But when we look at the sky at nighttime, for example, we lost in the forest, and then we can we can see where the North Star. So we can base on the North Star to walk either which way we want to go. If we want to go to north, and then we follow the North Star, or if we want to go to the other side, like go to the south, and then we can go to the different direction. So there's a kind of direction to show us the way. It's like a light, a directions, a guidance for us to practice. So you will not get lost, you know. You want to go to south, but you go to west, and then you are in the wrong direction, right? Yeah. And our teacher also really would like this guidance, the North Stars, maybe stars, huh? Because that's fine. I'm sorry. And then can be something more wider, not only limited to the Buddhist community. Because I also know, you know, sometimes people, Asian people, yeah, they can choose, you know, to adhere on a certain religion, but of course, number of you are quite free, you know, you don't need to really become a Buddhist, you know. Yeah, so our teacher want these trainings become wider, so everybody can commit, can take it as their own practice. Yeah, less Buddhism, but a lot of Buddha's teaching inside. Yeah, this is maybe how I can say. Yeah. But of course, the community, because it's evolving, before it's just very short, but now it's a little bit longer. Yeah. In even the traditional 5% is very short. You say, I take a commitment or vow to avoid killing like this. Very short one. Yeah. Stealing, killing, stealing, or the other things. But this one, our teacher even revised, like the first one, killing, he revised into reverence for life. Yeah. You don't want to say killing, you know. But it's also not very wrong, you know, but it's quite okay. But our teacher is a poet, you know, is artist, we can call it artist. Yeah. So when even I just read the sentence, reverence for, like, wow, so beautiful. Even though I'm not thinking about killing or, you know, things or vegetarian thing, but just read the sentence is already inspire the beauty, water the seed of goodness in me. Yeah. Yeah. I feel personally, I feel like that. Yeah. And actually, he wrote a very beautiful book. It's called The Mindfulness Survival Kit. Yeah, it's very catchy title. It's like your little box in your car or somewhere, you know, right? We have this little survival kit, you know, and um, and then if you would like, you can have a copy, either the hard copy or a soft copy. Yeah, I think somebody sent the link on the WhatsApp group that you can, yeah, you can invite the books to your device, tab or phone, you know, and then you can have a soft copy also possible if you want. I have one, but I will not share with you. I'm sorry. Mm. Because it has my name on it. You see, of course, I'm part of the monastic from Plum Village. So I have my email now, phapter@plumvillage.org. So I register there. I can download all the books for free. But on the after the cover page inside, dear brother Phapter has my name on it. So if I share with you, and then the parallax will know that I so cannot. I'm sorry. Dear brother Phapter, yeah, like something like this is books or published by this one, you know. It's a very polite way to say that, hey Phapter, don't share this book to your friend. Yeah, like that. You can give it a try to if you want to have a copy. Yeah. So the teaching, today's teaching, the next day or the few session will be based on this book. And I'll try my best to cover most of them. But if you have a copy, you can read the books, and then even like after the class, and then you can go deeper by reading those related reading. And then if you have anything to ask, maybe later you can come back to the class and we can discuss your maybe because I can cover quite a lot of things, but there are things that maybe I don't cover it, and then maybe we can have a discussion on a certain topic. Okay? Yeah, so just feel free. Or if you want to, not sure whether it is a good a medium to discuss in the a WhatsApp group or not, because I know sometimes people have a lot of WhatsApp group, day by day is always increasing, no decreasing. So from time to time, dear friends, you have to like uh, ask permission from the group. Hey friends, I'm sorry, too many groups. Please allow me to leave the group. Because from time to time, I have to say, how come I suddenly have many groups? Singapore group, Malaysian group, Indo group, Thai group. Oh man, it's become a lot, making my phone work become slower. So good luck with the WhatsApp group. But are we going to keep the group or let's see later? It's a future thing. We don't need to think about future first. Okay, later we can. Yeah, we have Will over there. And yeah, please get the book if you want. Yeah. And then I just would like to quote the books. Yeah, mindfulness can help us survive and thrive. Not only survive, but also thrive. Yeah. But in order to survive, especially in Singapore, I think it's quite tough. I heard. You see, even I just say, oh, I stay in Singapore for 1 month. People keep asking what you're doing there. Because because this will be my first time, the longest stay in Singapore. Usually I stay in Singapore, usually will not more than 2 weeks. Yeah. 1 week and a half or maybe 2 weeks will be the maximum. But this time I have to stay for 4 weeks. Actually, the Joyful Garden Sangha request for 2 months, for 2 months. But I submit the request to the Dharma teachers and 2 months, too long, I say. Even they say, oh, no need lah. You ask all the Sangha member to go to Thailand. We want the Sangha member to come to Thailand. But at the end, yeah, we somehow the Dharma teacher council somehow quite compassionate. Okay lah, we can fulfill the request, but let us give them a discount 1 month. And then after 1 month, after one program, and then we have a little feedback from the organizer or also from you. And then I will send the summarize to the Dharma teacher and see if the next request can be, we can continue like this. Or maybe the other country. Maybe we have a Malaysian, I don't know where, Indonesia or somewhere. You want to organize a program like this. Yeah. So to survive and to try as both as individuals, yeah, and human beings like together. Because in Plant Village, we always emphasize on go as a river, don't go as a drop of water. Yeah, because we want to have support. I think I remember Lao Tzu, do you know? Lao Tzu, or somebody, if I'm not mistaken, it's Lao Tzu. He says something like this: if you want to go very fast or very quick, you go alone. But die halfway, I don't know. I cannot guarantee. But if you want to go further, you have to go together. It means like with friends, support. Yeah, friends on the path is very important. In the plant village, we call it Sangha. Yeah, we have a monastic Sangha, we have a lay Sangha, and then all of us also Sangha, community. This is why even this place is called Sangha house. Your house also. So please come and support and practice the Sangha over here. And then we know there's quite a lot of issue about the Mother Earth, or this is the place where we're born here, we eat from here, we drink the water from the earth, the rice that you eat, it's all grow from the earth. I think our teacher also would like to teach in a way that encourage more people to protect the earth, the Mother Earth. Yeah, what we can contribute. Yeah. So inside the mindfulness training, also there's a certain like a guidance, yeah, to protect the earth. Maybe few of you, or maybe friends online, also have we call it what do you call it? The person who have a lot of mm, they volunteer, like they call it climate leaders, or they have a lot of concern related to what do you call it? Activists, yeah, activists, yeah. Of course, a lot of activists, sometimes animal activists or something, yeah, or climate change activists or something, yeah. So this is from the mindfulness survivor kits. Okay, then let's see. Yeah, just now I share with you a little bit about not change any. Okay, let's go back and come. Nothing changed, huh? Let me stop. Okay, let's try again. Ah, okay. Can see or not? I don't know what happened. Okay, anyway, I can read for you. So, if you know Plum Village very well, I think the mindfulness of Plum Village is really, really simple. Yeah, the present moment awareness. And then how we're going to do it is by breathing. So Plum Village is very simple. No complicated explanations. Yeah, I think we have enough. Yeah, a lot of. I remember when I did my dissertations on the mindfulness, because it's not me that I want to get the PhD, but I somehow being forced by the community to get the PhD. Because as a monk, why we need a PhD? But after I graduated from, I got a PhD. Oh, it's actually quite nice to have a PhD. You know why? Because I have to sign a certificate. Oh, it's my name. But be careful, huh, of this ego thing. But of course, I serve the like a when I need to sign the paper, the curriculum for the monastic program. You have a brother who has a PhD to sign, and then people, oh, it's a PhD brother who certify or check. Yeah. Because in Thailand, we have a cooperation between the Plant Village with the Maha Chulalongkorn Raja Vidyalaya University. Yeah. I can pronounce it very well. One more time. Maha Chulalongkorn Raja Vidyalaya University. It's my university. I have to pronounce it well. Yeah. So we are quite have a close relationship with the we call MCU, and then we are also very fortunate to have a support from the MCU. You want to do something, yes, please? Ah, I see. Oh yeah, you're right. Like this? Okay, maybe can make a little bit bigger. What do you think? Mm. Wow, the times tick so quickly. And then the mindfulness also not only like we come to the center, we come to a retreat center, participate in the Vipassana or program, and then we practice mindfulness. This is in one hand is correct, but our teacher always want after we in the retreat or day of mindfulness over here, when we return home, we also want to continue the mindfulness, the breathings, yeah, the present moment, the awareness of our breathings and the present moment mind. Yeah. That's why I really encourage people to come, friends to come the day of mindfulness to experience, because most important of the practice of mindfulness is the experience, not the theory. The theory may be 20 to 30% enough. Yeah. And then the continuous practice, then of course we really have to acknowledge that we have suffering. Yeah. Any kind of suffering. You look at me as a monk, we also have suffering, but maybe different kind of suffering. Huh? You're suffering, maybe have to go to work, from, I don't know, 8 or 9 to 4 or 5, whole day in the office. And then you need to think about credit or loan, pay the apartment fee, or a lot of things. Yeah. Of course, monks or nuns, we don't have these difficulties, but we have different difficulties. Yeah. But I will not tell you. Huh? If you want to know, come to be a monk or nun. Yeah. And then, yeah, we can spend more time on the breathing, mindfulness, and then to practice how to transform the suffering into happiness. Yeah. So when we can generate the happiness within us, and then when we share, you can feel a lot of happiness. Yeah. And then the 5 mindfulness training as a living ethics. That's why, and slowly, at the very beginning, you say, oh, precepts. And then our teacher say, oh, we change the term into mindfulness training. Is correct, huh? Mindfulness training, to train your mindfulness. And later he used the term ethics. And even he wants to say in a way that can become a global ethics. Yeah, everybody. So not limited to the Buddhist community only. Yeah. So it's a modern expressions of the Buddha's teaching, evolving with the time while preserving the essence. So the essence is still the same. You just change the cover only. They cultivate mindfulness, concentration, and insight. This three is very important. You just keep in mind first. The mindfulness give rise to concentrations, and then the insight. Yeah. And then three of them actually is the energy. The energy that can relieve sufferings and generate well-being or happiness. And then this is how our teacher Thay, yeah, when I say Thay, it mean late Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, yeah. When I say Thay, yeah, yeah. So this is also he call it a path or Tao, but not the Tao Jiao. Huh? Don't mix with that one, because Tao is mean actually the path. Yeah. Of course, in Chinese tradition, they also have a Kong Jiao, yeah, correct. Ru Jiao. Yeah, Ru Jiao, the Confucius. And also they also have a Tao Jiao. But Buddhism also we can say is a path. Yeah. But our teacher don't want, he's kind of like a very visionary person to look so far. So when he has to teach a lot of Westerner, because Westerner, I think they have a certain opinion about religion. So if you talk about religion with them, I think they were just difficult for them to accept. Don't know Singaporean, but usually Asian, you talk about religion is quite okay. But number of you maybe, yeah, different view. So the other two things that very important is according to our teacher, is the two important thing is the Four Noble Truths. Yeah, I have to say a little bit about them, and the Eight Noble Path. Yeah, Noble Eightfold Path. Yeah. Like when we talk about the Four Noble Truths, we talk about the suffering, the difficulties, but not sure why our teacher, she used a term called ill being. Not sure whether in the dictionary we have a ill being. We have well being, right? And then he said, if you have well being, then I think we need the other side, the ill being. You can go back and check the dictionary, yeah? Because I think this term, I'm not sure whether it's invented by our teacher, because he also like proposed a new term called interbeing. Yeah, it's from him, to explain about interconnectedness. Yeah, interrelationship, interconnectedness. Yeah, so he used interbeing, and even we have a community called the Order of Interbeing. Yeah, so you have Will, have Lawrence, we have David. Who else? We have Rumei. Yeah, who else I can see? Or I members. Okay, no more. Huh? Yeah. What is OI members? I tell you later. So we talk about the difficulties of our times. Yeah. So not only the suffering, but the ill being, the condition that make you not comfortable. Yeah. And then because interconnectedness, so there's always a cause behind that. Yeah. That's why the first one is a ku, and then the ji. Ji is the mean the source. Where is come from? The rice that you eat is come from where? From the sun, the water, the earth, the seed and everything. Even the farmers, the workers, the fertilizer. So there's always a source. So you want to use a mindfulness to acknowledge the ill being and then to look deeply and see where it's come from. When we know where it's come from, then we can do better. Like what kind of things that we read, we listen, music that we listen, or the movie that we watch that feeding our suffering. Yeah. Don't think that you suddenly, oh, I suffer so much, Then you don't know what happened to you. Yeah, what you consume. Yeah. And then the third one is well-being is possible. Yeah. We have ill-being, then we have well-being. Yeah. So the third one will be the well-being. So we want to transform. In the plant village tradition, we always give example. You talk about the mud and the lotus. Yeah. If you have to choose, maybe you choose the lotus, right? The mud so dirty, you don't want. Throw them all away. Yeah. So the mud maybe the suffering, the ill being. You throw away all the ill being. You only want the well-being, right? Correct? Mm. I trust you. But you see, how this mud and the lotus uh, interconnected to each other. How the lotus root, to absorb the nutriments or the water or the everything from the mud to nourish the lotus. Maybe you think, oh, the lotus is very clean, We don't want to touch the dirty thing. So usually we are very afraid of our sufferings. So we want to encourage all of us to have this power, energy of mindfulness, to have this courage to look at our suffering, not run away. Usually we run away, like 见到鬼一样 we may see a ghost, then we run very quickly. Yeah. So your suffering, your ill-being is your ghost. You always run away by doing what? Eating a lot, watching, consuming, yeah, eating your favorite food, watching your favorite movie, your Korean drama, even though you watch it 10 times already, you continue to repeat it, right? Yeah. But a long time ago, I like to read comics. If I suffer a little bit, I read comic. I like Doraemon, you know. Do you like Doraemon? Mm. Those who like this, same age, yeah. Maybe, I'm not sure. Huh? Doraemon. I love Kung Fu Boy, you know. Kung Fu Boy, you know. And then the other one is the Japanese Super Saiyan things. Dragon Ball. My favorite, yeah. So when like you study and a lot of exam, 头痛, headache, you know, just pick up the Dragon Ball and you read, wow, so good, the Sun Wukong, Son Goku, with this very funny thing. But it's like unbeatable, huh? Son Goku, yeah. So we want to know that we have a ill being, we have the mud, we also have the well-being, the lotus, and then how the mud nourishes the lotus, and then after the lotus bloom very beautiful, and then after is the leaves, the things, when they fall down again, it will nourish the mud at the same time. Yeah. So to see how they relate to each other, and then of course there's a way, the path. Yeah, the Tao. Yeah. 苦集灭 is mean, what do you call it? Cease. Yeah, cease. Extinguish. Yes, correct. Extinguish. But maybe in our term, it's called is transform. We don't cut. We don't throw away. We don't throw away the mud. We don't throw away our suffering. Yeah. It can be a very good fertilizer. It can be a very good petrol. Yeah, energy. And okay, this is quite a lot of maybe even we need a few sessions to really go deep into the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. Yeah, but this is just very short summarize. Yeah, especially when we talk about a right view, you know. Now there's a lot of view, you know. Even the upside down view, you know. Even now, everybody on the social media call it a point of view. It's a view, you know. Be careful on your views. Huh? So we usually, our teacher encourage us to always ask ourselves, am I sure over there, sure or not? Huh? But I don't know why you put it over there. Huh? Sure or not, you want to take, you know, because there's a lot of things over there on the table. I'm just guessing, huh? Why is the sure you want to take or not? But you answer yourself, because I stay here for 2 or 3 days already. Every time I want to take the, I don't know, cookies or something, no? I read first, sure or not, sure. Aya, chinchay lah. Just take it. After eat one or two, maybe enough. So if we have enough mindfulness, maybe of course you still take, you know, one or two cookies or three, you know, and if we can feel enough, you know, the maybe over there we need next to it another calligraphy called you have enough or I have enough or something, you know, put it over there, huh? Because it's so scary every time go there. It's feel like don't take, don't take, don't take. I'm just kidding, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is see how's our view, and then ethical actions, body, speech, and mind. Oh, this is second one is so related to the 5 mindfulness trainings. Yeah, it's all related to how we look at certain things, how we say things, you know, how we using our body to do some things, or consume some things. Yeah, and then it's also talking about mindfulness and concentrations. Yeah. Like before, I already mentioned about mindfulness, concentration, and insight, how they link to each other. Yeah. Maybe we can listen to one sound of the bell. Yeah. Let's breathe together. Thank you very much. And then we want to see that all the practices that we share, especially from the point of view of our teacher or from the tradition of a plum village, is always supporting each other. Yeah. And then we really want to transform our sufferings. Yeah. And then, but you do not need to wish you have more sufferings. Sometimes people say, "Oh, brother, I don't have any suffering, so I need to create my own suffering to to feel some." No, we don't need to do that. Actually, you not able to see your suffering doesn't mean that you don't have suffering. Yeah. If you look deeply, you will see, and then we can walk from that our suffering, little suffering over there, here and there. Yeah. So the mindfulness is very clear. Yeah, the mind return to the present moment. Yeah, and then we use the breathings and the see, to come back to. Yeah, in the scripture, it's always using this term, but it's not using who see. If the general term, maybe we know the Chinese call it who see, but this is see is a little bit different. Yeah, it has the meaning of breathings, but it also have a meaning of resting. So after practice of breathing for so many years, I think if we deliberately pay attention to our breathing, it's the best resting. Yeah, really. And then people talking about healing. So I think the healing is come from the resting, and then the resting can be produced by breathing, resting, and then healing. Yeah? So you don't need to go very far, go to Bali or go to Japan, but if you still want to go, it's still okay. Yeah? But because we have a project in Bali, so have a plum village, Indonesia advertisement a little bit. So the breathings, healing. That's why maybe this term, because if you check the dictionary, I'm not very good in this kind of thing, but of course, yeah, I'm also learning. For example, if you look at the words, I think like this, shield, correct, and see. So this see also as the resting, like people sleeping on the wood, correct. So long time ago, maybe the bed is made of wood, but nowadays made of a lot of things. So it's like you can rest, but using the breathings. I look at all the scripture in Chinese, they never use this husi. Even like maybe the common communication language, we call it husi, but I found this si. So this has a meaning of breathing. It also have a meaning of calming or resting. Yeah. So I just kind of personal conclusion. Yeah. But you can test. You can try. You please don't believe everything I say. Okay. You have to check and recheck. But of course, I try my best not to misleading you. I'll try my best like that. Yeah. So this C is we can continue to take a deep look into this word. Even sometimes from the word we can practice a lot. That's why you see here we have a lot of calligraphies. Even before you enter, you already can feel wow. It's like a museum, calligraphy museum. It's everything with the calligraphy. Yeah. And then every calligraphy, every words is remind you something. Yeah. So sometimes I like to, I look at this calligraphy so many times already. At the present moment, at now, at the here and now, what is mean to me? Yeah. What is mean to me, sure or not? Yeah. It's a very, very good contemplation. Yeah. So you can go to that corner, special that corner to check yourself. Yeah. Okay, now let's go to check. I will send you this slide to the groups later. Maybe you can read it. Yeah. But I just want to go directly to the first mindfulness trainings. Yeah. Because today I have to share with you this true mindfulness training. Actually, the good things about the mindfulness trainings of a plum village is very self-explanatory. It means that when you read, it's very clear. Yeah. So actually, I don't need to say too many things, you know. But I hope you already read the mindfulness training, huh? Or you can search on the internet also possible. I can send you this one. And then this mindfulness training is just one very long paragraph. Yeah, very long one. I remember the first time I read is quite short. And then it's developed for the version 2. Huh? Usually the version number 1, you know, version number 2, upgrade versions, you know. And then version number 3, you know, V 0.3 something, you know. It's become like this. Yeah. But inside of the training, for example, the first one is called Reverence for Life, is always divided into 4 parts. So you can see, is so the red one, the number 1, is the suffering. When we talk about the Four Noble Truths, correct? The suffering, the ill being. Yeah. But this ill being, we want to use the mindfulness to practice it, to embrace it, to acknowledge. Yeah, that's why we say aware of the suffering. It's always start with this one. It's mean the first noble truth. So how come, long time ago, like 2,600 years ago, Buddha say this ill being, this suffering is noble, you know, noble mud. Correct. We can call the mud is very noble, you know, because it's fit the lotus to grow. So our suffering is actually very noble, you know. Don't throw it away. We can not only recycle but also transform them. Yeah. So the first one always the ill being, the ku, yeah. And then the second one is cause, because we're talking about reference for life, and then the cause by the destruction of life. Okay, maybe we can say killing, you know. Now they're quite sad now. You see after the COVID, you know, we have a lot of war in this world. Like before we have this Ukraine with the Russia, you know. And then now recently between the United States, Israel, and Iran, right? Yeah. Yeah, to contemplate, feeling like, you know, we want to respect human life, you know. It's not like you just send a bomb or something and then suddenly, boom, can be 100 or 1,000 people. Just our human life feeling like so cheap, you know. So I cannot believe in this modern world we still do something like this. And then I'm not saying which country good or bad. Huh? I don't want to say something. Just maybe I don't know what happened, but there's a lot of things we can have dialogue, you know, have discussion dialogue, rather than you just send I don't know what call it, the missile, you know, to shoot them, to shoot their military base and to kill people. This is killing, you know. Our human life is not, is very precious actually. Yeah. Okay. We don't talk too much about this, but it's a very good contemplation for us. Yeah, to see what happened, because it's is affect many countries. Yeah, because it's related to oil, related to, got it, mm, suddenly I don't remember the gun, the weapon, the something something. Oh, so many things behind it, and is everything boiled down to probably money, huh? Probably, I don't know. Yeah. And then the third one, yeah. So the first one is the ill being. The second one is the cause. Yeah. And then the third one is the possibility to transform the ill being by by knowing the root, the cause. Yeah. So when we look at number one and number two, it will give us a new hope that is possible to transform. If we believe that the mud will always be the mud, and then everybody trouble. Because the mud cannot transform, then we have trouble, right? If we cannot transform, also we are in trouble. So you will be a little child all the time. But we transform, right? From a little child, don't know how to eat, don't know how to read, and then we slowly learn, and then we transform. Yeah. But transform to which direction? This is a very good question. Yeah. So number three, I'm committed to cultivating the insight, okay, the insight of interbeing, the interconnectedness, and also have to put together with the compassion, yeah, the insight, understanding, insight or understanding, and the compassion, and learning ways to protect the lives of people. So not only saying, oh, I avoid killing, but try to protect. This is a little bit challenging for us. Because if you see somebody with the gun, maybe you are the first one who run away. If people with a gun, and then they can shoot anybody, But there's nothing wrong, to like save ourselves first. Yeah. But if you have a strong courage want to help, yeah, you can do so. But not only the lives of people, but included the animals, included dogs, included those who are not very nice, like no, no, lion, tiger, snakes, even the kachua, You know kachua? Kachua is a cockroach. Everyone talking about kachua. I feel goosebump, goosebump. But I don't know why. For me, I also, when I look at the cockroach, feel so scary. Maybe during my childhood, something happened during that time. But you still meditate, practice mindfulness for so many years. I still couldn't find out why I so afraid of this kachua. Every time when you look at the kachua somewhere, oh, be careful, breaker. And then it's fly over somewhere. Oh, it becomes so history, hilarious. But nowadays it's quite okay a little bit. Like breathing in, breathing out. Be aware, don't fly to me. Well, you see, sometimes you say, oh, don't fly to me, or the kachok maybe have the same frequency. You fly and then stick on your forehead or somewhere. Scary. So now, but at least I can maintain the calm and peace out. But still, I speak honestly to you that I still have to breathing in, breathing out. Just be aware. Don't fly, don't fly. Yeah. I will let you 井水不犯河水. How do you translate this? You do your own thing, I do my own thing. We don't disturb each other. 对不对？井水 is the water from the well. Not disturb the. Shui is the water from the river, huh? Yeah, correct. This is very nice term, nice, you call it idiom from Chinese. You got a lot of nice one. I like it. Yeah. 井水不犯河水. Yeah. The water from the well not disturb the water from the river. Huh? You go your own way, I go on my one way. Yeah. So it's included people, human beings, life of people, animals, and also plants. You see, nowadays, in order to, I'm sorry, Singapore maybe so small, you don't have a lot of forest to cut down. But in the other country, like for example, you see Malaysia, you still have a lot of lands, but not sure why they have to cut down the forest, Or, yeah, I'm sorry, in Indonesia also we have a lot in Sumatra or Java, just for the sake of they want to build something, they want to plant something. This last 10 years in Indonesia, they cut down a lot of forest in order to plant this palm palm tree. Yeah, a lot. That's why a lot of disaster. Yeah. Singapore maybe we don't have this kind of problem. Huh? Maybe no. Huh? But Malaysia can be, Indonesia, we still have a lot of lands and yeah. So when they cut down the forest, it's disturbed the ecosystem, the wildlife inside of there, Yeah, too bad. Huh? I'm not supposed to say bad things about government. Yeah. But this is just a fact, like what happened in the world. The other country, I don't know, Argentina or Mexico or other countries, maybe the same, right? They cut down their forest a lot. Okay, maybe if you have time, you can just take a look at those things. It's quite interesting. And then the number 4 is the path, the Tao, the path. Mm. And then the path, actually, we have a Eight Noble Path, just now I mentioned. Yeah. So it's a Four Noble Truths. And then the number 4 is divided into 8. Yeah. This is called an Eight Noble Fast. So it's spreading. So the word you see, I am determined not to kill, is very clear. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill. This is a little bit difficult. Huh? If you don't have this a skillful way, it's also very dangerous for you. Yeah. It's mean like to prevent other to kill. But we have to see you are in that position or not. If sometimes, you're in power, you have the power to say something. Will you do it? Mm. So this is a very good question also. And not to support any act of killing in the world. I I think this is also included what we call it a capital punishment. Yeah. But of course, different country, they have a different view about this, okay? Like Singapore, I don't know, do you have this capital punishment? Oh, really, huh? But what kind of like a offense? Drug. Yeah. Oh, this is pretty serious, yeah. Indonesia, few cases, there's like a life sentence. There's a few cases also, we have this capital punishment. But if we really have to, like for myself, if I really have to speak from my point of view as a practitioner, as a Buddhist monk, we don't support. But if the government still want to do it, yeah, it's okay because it's government. But we have the right to say we don't support. Yeah. But no need violence. Huh? If you ask me, I just can say, oh, I don't support. But if the government still want to do it, okay, because you are the government, the responsibility, you have the right to do so. But of course, as a citizen, we have the right to voice out. But of course, using a what do you call it, a polite, friendly, loving speech to convey. No need to shout. People sometimes do a lot of hatred in them. They shout at the government. This is not reflecting the what do you call it. We still have to respect. the way we speak, the sentence we use. Yeah. Okay, so in my thinking, you see, in my thinkings, yeah, right thinking, yeah, or in my way of life, yeah, seeing that harmful actions arise from anger. You see, there's always anger. A lot of people, you see, if there's nowadays, a lot of people love to give a comments on the social media. If there's a certain thing happening, all kind of comments. Yeah. If you're not very urgent, maybe you don't need to comment because it will become a disaster for you later. Especially when you are very angry and then you comment on something, your words, your comment will become very harsh and very very not nice. Yeah. Seeing that harmful actions arise from anger, anger, fear, greed, and intolerance, which in turn come from a dualistic and discriminative thinking. Yeah. Discriminative thinking. In Chinese, call it a 分别心, but we still need it sometimes. But sometimes we use it in a different place and then it become a problem. Yeah. Discriminative thinking. I will cultivate, this also is the proactive. Not only saying that you avoid killing, but you also proactive. I will cultivate openness. Yeah, this is very important. Openness. Non-discrimination, non-attachment to views. Yeah. Like if I really attach to my view about non-killing, maybe I will shout at the government. Yeah. But as a monk, please don't do so. Or else people will video me and then viral. Oh, you see, this monk shouted at the government. And then it become problem. Yeah. But if we, like our teacher always encourage, even if we have to say our stance, our view, we say in a way that convey the message with a lot of compassion and loving kindness. Yeah, a lot of respect. Because sometimes people think that the only way that other people can listen to us is we use a strong terms, use a very high tone, and use a very harsh speech, and then people can follow us because their intention is to force other people to follow your idea. Yeah. So you impose your idea. So non-attachment to view in order to transform violence. Yeah, everybody has violence. We call it the seeds of violence. Everybody have that. Right? It's a matter of bigger or smaller. Sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. It depends on what movie you watch. Sometimes what kind of music song you listen, it will give you a different effects also. Yeah, there's a certain song. But the song when you sang just now, what song is that? There's honey in your eyes. So you feel a lot of peaceful there, and then a lot of this song is quite interesting, because I'm not English speak. I grew up in a non-English speaking country, but most of the Singaporean and Malaysian, maybe you grew up with like your neighbors, they speak maybe English or maybe speak Mandarin. So you, but for me, during my time, we even at that time, like for me, we cannot not allowed to learn Chinese because it's forbidden by the government at that time, like 1980s something, until 2000 something. Then Indonesia a little bit open. They have this Lunar New Year celebration. Long time ago, we cannot celebrate. It's like secretly celebrate this, the Lunar New Year. You give ang pao, but yeah. But nowadays, Indonesia is quite open. We can celebrate. They have this what do you call lion dance, lion dance, or all the culture things we can have right now. Yeah. So, so to transform our violence, okay? Yeah. We have the seed of violence. We have the seeds of fanaticism. We have, yeah. But don't let it grow too strong. That's why you have to come here regularly to help to transform those seeds, or at least to practice by yourself also possible. Yeah. In myself and in the world. But we still start from ourselves first, not wishing that you have to change first before you always point at outside to change. Yeah. So you see how this structure, there's a first mindfulness training, reference for life, and how beautiful it's. I remember during that time, we have the old versions. Yeah. When I was in France, we sit down for Dharma sharing for so many sessions. We couldn't come up with versions but we give input to our teacher. Like this, we give input. And then at the end, our teacher just took everything and then he wrote a new, and then, okay, this is the, after listen to your sharing, your input, this is the version come out. Yeah. As a disciple, we follow. Yeah. And then let's look at the second training. Is the format also very similar? The four noble truths. Yeah. And then you see, it's always start with the aware of suffering. So aware of suffering is very important. Yeah. And then caused by exploitations, social injustice, stealing, and oppressions. In the old style, in the five precepts, is only mentioned about stealing. Yeah. And then you see, even the title, actually, at the very beginning, I was very confused. Why is called a true happiness? What is the relationship between the happiness and the stealing? Because sometimes we want to own a lot of things to be happy. So our happiness is depend on something else outside there. So slowly I read again and practice. I start to realize a little bit here and there that actually I can be happy without need to buy a lot of things, shopping, buy things. Nowadays people love to change a mobile phone, things new, upgrade and update, and then they have to buy a new one. Not sure what kind of thing that you you upgrade regularly. For the monks and nuns, we are quite okay, right? Like our clothes, we don't need to buy every year. Right? 新年 and then you go to buy a new clothes, right? And then you have like a shelf full of clothes, but you say, oh, I don't have clothes. Then you go shopping, you buy again. And then nowadays buying things is quite easy, just using your app. I don't know, Singapore, you're using apps to buy things. Buy what? I'm sorry, I don't know. May I just reveal a little bit secret of yours? Buy yogurt. That one you go to supermarket, you have. No need to use app. Online shopping. Oh, 难怪. I see. But you buy like shoes or things. Maybe you just go to a shopping center to buy. But your happiness of buying things is very short. You buy this thing very expensive and then you use your swaka, you use credit card. And then at the end of the month, oh, why I spend so much money on buying things? So be careful, huh? If you don't really need your credit card, you just cut it. But nowadays, I'm not sure whether people use credit card or not. Or tap. Even they tap using a mobile phone. I saw a Chinese nowadays, they don't need to bring anything. They just use their phone and then with the QR code, and then there's a machine that beep. I say, how much? They just press. Oh. We don't see money anymore. This is called digital money or electric money or something. So maybe slowly we will not see the bills, the coins, the bill. Yeah. So the third one, I'm committed to practicing generosity. I see. It look like the opposite of the stealing, exploitations. Practicing generosity in my thinking, my speaking, and my acting is three. They call it three doors. The thinking is the mind, yeah, ear, and then the speaking is the kou, yeah, and then acting is the body, sen, kou, ear, correct? This thing is very important. I think so. Yeah. The body, yeah, sen, and then the kou, correct? And then the e, body, speech, and mind. And then all of them related to this one. The first one related to body, probably. Yeah? Call it a reference for life. Killing things is body. Yeah? And then the number four is related to our speech. But this one, oh, related to our body also. Yeah, the killing, the stealing is related to body. Yeah. The third one also related to body. And then the fourth one related to speech. Which one related to mind? Huh? No. All related to mind. Yeah. Yeah. One, two, three. One body, second one body, the third one body, the fourth one speech, the fifth one body, consumption, body. Yeah. Yeah. So body and speech. But this is the king. This is the king. Whatever the king say, usually the body and the speech will follow, right? Yeah. So mindfulness is to help to transform our mind to help the king. So the king actually is very important. Like in Singapore, which person is the most important? Like not the president, huh? Singapore, you don't have king, right? No. I think Malaysia still have king, right? Malaysia, they have king. But not really sure. The king sometimes is just a symbol. It depends how they arrange this thing. So Singapore no king, or only president. But I think mostly the one who come out to speak is the prime minister, right? I think maybe we can consider prime minister is the lao da, the person who maybe the certain policy, how this country gonna works. Yeah. So if the king is good, if the mind is wholesome, and then the body and the speech will follow. So if you have a good leader, a good king, a good prime minister, a good a president. Indonesia, we have presidents, yeah, and then supported by the ministry. Yeah? Then it will lead our country to goodness. Prime minister also have ministry or something, minister to support him. Huh? Correct? Yeah, yeah, quite similar. Huh? So you see the number four, the Eight Noble Path. What it say about I'm determined not to steal. Okay, so you make a commitment not to steal, not to possess anything that should belong to others, and I will share my time, energy, and material resources. I will share my time, energy, material resources, generosity. That is very clear. With those who are in need, who those with those who are not in it, or maybe no need. So we we have to see the in the appropriate place, if somebody are very very hungry, then you give him a 1 kilogram of gold. Maybe it's useless, probably, yeah. But if you give him a one bag, satay or fried rice, it's more useful, for that person. Yeah. I will practice looking deeply to see that the happiness and the suffering of others are not separate from my own happiness and suffering. So the happiness, you see, I'm an Indonesian. So if Indonesia have a disaster, I cannot be happy. It's difficult because I can feel how suffer with the flood or earthquake. And yeah, there's a couple of times in Indonesia we have called tsunami. Huh? Tsunami is pretty bad. And then I really can feel that their suffering actually also my suffering. And not because we have same passport. But even if they're maybe in Malaysia or Japan or somewhere, I also can feel the suffering. Yeah. But I don't need to really suffer with them, in the sense that if I if I suffer together with them, in the sense I don't have this power to transform myself. Okay, like this. Our teacher gave an example like if you are a doctor, medical doctor, and then there's a patient come to you, and then as a doctor, we have to check, okay, open your mouth and check your heartbeat, and then we diagnose what kind of sickness. Yeah. So the doctor have the capacity, have the power, energy to heal the patient, correct? Yeah. But if the doctor say, oh, so painful, even though it's the patient, we lost the power, we lost the clarity. Yeah. But we can have we call it empathy, yeah, probably. Yeah. Empathy maybe is more correct term. I can feel the suffering, the pain when I see the disaster in this world. The true happiness is not possible without understanding and compassion, and that running after wealth, fame, power, and sensual pleasure can bring much suffering and despair. I'm aware that happiness depends on my mental attitude. This is very, I don't know why every time when I read this sentence, it just like an arrow shoot, go deep inside my heart. Yeah. And I don't know why I like it. Yeah. It serves as a very strong reminder. Yeah. I'm aware that happiness depends on my mental attitude and not on external conditions. And I can live happily in the present moment simply by remembering. So mindfulness actually is a way to remember. Yeah. The act of remembering that I already have more than enough conditions to be happy. I'm committed to practicing right livelihood. Right livelihood that you contribute to the well-beings of others. Of course, there are a few companies maybe a little bit difficult, like there's a lot of discussion. For example, the cigarette company, is one thing. What is the other things? Hmm. Pesticide company. What else? A company that drill oil, Maybe few people think that, oh, we work on this kind of company is very prestigious, very good. Yeah, in one side, it's maybe pretty good. But the other, we also want to see what kind of impact. Maybe this can be a discussion later. We will see. And then what kind of profession we are in right now. Like for example, Will as a farmer, how you do the farming, what kind of chemical, what you avoid, what you want to do, so you can preserve the earth, so that I can help. The main important thing is to help reduce the suffering of living beings on earth and stop contributing to climate change. Yeah. I think whatever we are doing now is in a sense contribute to the climate change. But we can choose wisely and more deliberately. We choose in a way that less contribution. For example, I have to fly, the brother has to fly from Bangkok or from Indonesia to Singapore. So we also accumulated this carbon footprints, But we try our best. If we don't need to fly, then we don't fly. Yeah. Now, this is also quite a lot of things to discuss about climate change. You see, true happiness is related to a lot of things. Yeah. So this is just okay. At the end, I just want to share with you that I will give you an assignment. Um, there's you can I will send this and then you will go to check. Yeah, please. It's very simple things. Yeah, you only have two things to do. The first thing is the reading. Reading is very easy, and then the second thing is the writing, journaling. Yeah, I already written down the instruction, and then you go see. But just try your best, not look at it as a burden. Like, oh, I a student from a school, and then you after the class you have to go back and do your works. But please do it happily, and even just a very simple sharing, it will be very beneficial. Yeah. So later I can send to the groups and everybody can just access and even and click on the link and please read it. Yeah. And then the deadline is Tuesday because our class on every Wednesday. So please submit your homeworks on Tuesday. Huh? Don't submit earlier. Huh? Okay, Tuesday. On Tuesday, you are welcome to submit. Yeah. So I have time to read. Also from the friends from online. Huh? Okay. So now it's already 9:30. Not sure whether we would like to have a one or two questions and then we can end our session today. Does anybody have a question you would like to ask? Oh yeah, please. Do we have an extra microphone? Or you can take this one. Oh, this one also. Huh?
You. You need this? Okay, thank you for your sharing, dear brother. So I think one question, because I think your sharing on right view was quite interesting. The views that the world is full of views. So I think I have a big struggle with, being very affected by other people's views, especially if people tell me this and that oh, I'm like this, or I'm like that, or I should do this or do that. Especially with, friendships and work. Because I'm not very sure, I think how do I be more sure in myself? Because sometimes if people tell me something like, oh, I feel that the person has so many opinions about me, and yeah, sorry, it's quite a long story lah. I've been through a lot of yeah, like how do you not be so insecure about I think especially because there were things that happened to me in I think one thing is that there were things that that I experienced, or that I went through, that that and then people will say that I was like immoral or wrong. But I really didn't know better. I have no intention to harm anybody. And because I know some people are offended by things I did, then I do my best to learn from it and I apologize. I already do my part. Also because I recently ended a friendship. And then this ex-friend of mine said that, she because we were supposed to have a talk, to think things we think there were things happen between us. And she kept saying, oh, she has so many things she wants to tell me, but I was not ready to have the talk because because she hurt me a lot and I need time to process it, and I have a lot of work. I have a deadline. And then because she wouldn't stop pestering me, that's when my counselor actually told me that I need made me realize that I need to block her. But I think this whole thing that because she kept saying, oh, she has so many things to tell me, feedback for me and all that, it make me feel very insecure. So I don't know where to draw the line between, I want to improve myself and be better, or versus, when do I, not be so affected by other people's opinions. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, thank you very much for the very deep questions. And at the same time, while you're asking, I start to reflect on myself. What will I do when I'm in your positions? Of course, it's quite common things happen. And the first thing came up from my mind is maybe there's a lot of doubt in you. So when people say, you tend to I get carried away by them, and then you trust them more than yourself. Yeah. So there's a lot of doubt inside of you that maybe even yourself you cannot see clearly. Yeah. So probably I can guess for the moment you don't have enough clarity in yourself. Yeah. Maybe you can imagine a water with a lot of a mud, and then you keep stirring it, and then it's become very murky. So your mind maybe a lot of time in this murky conditions. So when somebody says something, you just totally lost. You don't know what to do. Yeah. So one of the good things that we practice mindfulness is we help the murky mud, the dust to sink down, and then you can see clearly. When you can see clearly yourself, usually your doubt will reduce. Like if you go to a room so dark, you cannot see anything, you have a lot of doubt and fear. When people say, go to the left, you follow to the left. Go to the right, you follow to the right because you don't know what to do. You cannot see it clearly. Yeah. So one thing that I can very sure that um probably this is my guess, a lot of we call it uncertainty, and then uncertainty by due to you don't have the clarity of mind. Yeah. To have a clarity of mind, you need to practice stopping regularly, and then help our mind to cool down, to relax down. Because sometimes we are very good in making our mind tense, but it just we don't have a lot of way to help our mind to cool down and to rest. Yeah. So actually breathing is very good to rest our mind. So if you're in that state, not very clear, and then have a lot of doubt, try to give yourself 5 minutes of breathing and see whether it will give you a different effects, how to respond on other people saying like, your hair not good, your body is not good, whether you really want to trust them or not. But usually, mine personally, I will say you are partially right. It's mean like I 50% acknowledge your what you say, but I cannot like fully acknowledge that you are right, you know. So in that way, I put down the doubt in me. Yeah. Because probably when somebody say something, you immediately acknowledge and say, oh, 100% correct. But now give a discount, 50%. Yeah. 50% correct. So it's like playing trick with your mind, but it works a little bit, huh? Tricking your mind, but it works. It helps you to see clearly. People love to comment, whatever. Sometimes it's very random, random, a lot of random comment that even though you don't want to, because when you try to deny them, it's also suffering. Yeah. Denial is suffering. And when you accept all, is also suffering. So give half like middle way. Oh yeah, correct. Middle way. Yeah. Not a win-win solution. I don't know. Maybe also win-win solution that. So you give yourself a chance to look things more what I call it, more balanced. Yeah. So you accept. Maybe you can try this one, this new mantra. Our teacher teach us either are you sure, or he or she or they partially correct. So you leave some space for you to investigate more the other half. So you only accept this 50%, the other 50%, we take time to observe and see and have more clarity to see. And then both sides we can see clearly. You will try, huh? So for me, myself, there's a lot of situation like that. So I will do like that. Okay, can, I hope so. And then you can write something on that, on the journal also, if you would like. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe there's quite a lot of the other things. When you practice few advice, you can give it a try, and then probably sometime you will find a different way to deal with it with a very similar spirit. Yeah, I hope this helps. Do you think we can have one more, or you want to go home? Three breath. If nobody, or maybe from the online, from the Zoom. Yeah, please. Yes, please. Yeah, maybe type. Not very clear. Mm. Thank you. I like the questions.
Can you hear me?
A little bit, but not very clear.
Oh, okay, I try to repeat. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's good.
I understand euthanasia for human beings is not accepted in Buddhist point of view. What about if we have a sick animal, our pet, and they are terminally ill and suffering? Does it also apply in the same way, in Buddhist point of view, that we do not, put them to sleep or whatever?
Mm. So the question is related to euthanasia and then the animals. Yeah. Yeah, this is also quite difficult decision. But I don't want to use my voice to say whether this yes or no. Sometimes this yes or no we also can get caught into this yes or no. Like there's one time, there's a family, the father's got cancer, but this human, father got cancer, and then they try to keep it secret. They don't want to the father know that he got cancer. So the first thing, the family lied to him. And then after some time, the father was so sick, and then at the end, yeah, maybe the family listened to some kind of advice, and also maybe talk to the doctor. So they thinking of this solutions of euthanasia. It means like to inject, and then they call it mercy killing. Yeah, yeah. This is actually quite a difficult decisions, but I hope they really have a discussion, look deeply, and then they can make a collective decisions among the family. So whether they want to keep the fathers alive with even with the difficulties of this body's pain, or they want to call it a mercy killing. Yeah, of course, from the point of view that we want to respect life, we don't want to end the life quicker. But also there's a related to mental, because the suffering from our physical body is it will affect our mind, our mental, and our feelings. Yeah, even if you ask me, it will be a bit difficult for human, and then for the animal also is a bit difficult. But if the family, like the case of a father's got a cancer, if the family like agree and they make a lot of considerations, and then they are in harmony, I think half of me also will support, if I'm the family members. Yeah. It's my personal point of view, lah, yeah. Mm. And then for the animal, maybe yeah, because probably you are the owner of the maybe a dog or I don't know, a fish or very terminal sickness. If you can continue to nourish the dog or the animal, I think it would be nice. But at the end, probably you have a different idea or different opinions, want to end the life of the animal quicker. I also respect in that part. Yeah, because when you make a decisions, you have your own consideration. And then, for example, the father of that family, they know him quite well. We are as an outsider, actually, our view sometimes is not very relevant to the father, or because maybe you have developed some kind of friendship with the animal, the dog or fish or something. You have this um close friendship, close relationship. And then when you do it, you make sure that there's a lot of a compassion behind that. Not like to save money, to do things like this. This is not a very correct attitude. Yeah. So I think still possible. You give rise to compassions. You give rise to a lot of understanding with a very truthful and honest. And then I personally can respect either way. You continue to nourish with a lot of compassion, and also with a lot of compassion, you want to do that because you see there's a possibility to do the euthanasia. But of course, this is debatable, huh? But at least we take time to take into consideration and discuss with many people, and we are not in rush to make a decisions. Yeah. And then when everybody have a collective insight decision, I think just go ahead do that. Yeah. This is more like a personal understanding and sharing. Huh? Thank you very much. Huh? So now already 9:45. I hope this is good enough for tonight. Yeah. Thank you very much. And let's end. We can end, huh? Let's end with the three sounds of the bell. If you have more questions, maybe let's discuss in the group if you want. Yeah. Let's enjoy our breathings with three sounds of the bell. And listen. These wonderful sounds brings me back to my true home.